At this point, I think it's really interesting.
We're working on it where the information will get pulled in from third data sources.
You can't say
Third
daddy
party
on this podcast. You can't say
Yeah,
daddy.
sorry. Who's your data? Yeah.
Buckle up. It's the Insurance Dudes podcast.
So I love the notion of AI. I think it's so interesting up until the point where there's singularity and they take over. But at this point, I think it's really interesting. So talk about this in application. Like, how does this serve and who is it serving?
Yep. Let me give you like a simple example of how it's implemented now at
I need
Bold
simple.
Penguin. Yeah. So like when you're doing a commercial insurance quote, right? One of the first things you have to do is classify that business and try to like make it fit in a NAICS code or something for the insurance carrier, right? And it's not straightforward. There's, I think, 19,000 NAICS codes or something like that.
Nuts.
Right?
That's the worst.
Yeah. And so like in Bold Penguin, they've implemented lots and lots of thinking and then machine learning so that just like in Google, you go in and type in want a burrito in Kansas City and it pulls up burrito places for you, right? In Bold Penguin, you go in and you type in florist that sells man-eating plants. I'm just giving a random example, right? And it will kind of give you 3 options and it'll recommend the option that you should select so that you pick the right business classification, right? Really simple, but like it's not that simple. And so it's taken like these 19,000 NAICS codes and simplified it to 3 suggestions so that you don't have to memorize these appetite guides. We see a lot of agencies that end up using that tool just to train their agents, the new ones, so that they don't have to actually memorize the appetites and the NAICS and all that stuff. They're using machine learning to get better at it. So that's just a simple example.
You can customize which appetite. So if it's searching up whatever, and then you know that NAICS code is something that isn't there, that the carrier has an appetite for, or
that's all connected, right? So like you select florist with man-eating plants. Like we've already mapped all that to all the carriers that are on our platform.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's cool. It's insane. Yeah, we call it like real-time eligibility. So you hit that and then you start filling in some of the application information. What's going to get really awesome, by the way, with these things is like we're working on it where the information will get pulled in from third data sources.
You can't say daddy on this podcast. You can't say daddy.
Sorry. Who's your data? Yeah. We've actually been trying to name a data product, and I think I'm going to recommend Data Daddy.
Who's your data? Who's your data?
Hurry! Buy the URL, Jason. Hurry!
Oh God, Data Daddy.
Genius.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So like you just fill in the one application. You've already selected your business code, and it while you're typing is hitting the carrier's systems and figuring out, are you within the eligibility? And so things are coming in and out of appetite. It kind of freaks people out a little bit sometimes because things will come out of appetite, but then you answer a question and it can bring it back in appetite. People are like, what's going on? It's like, that's real-time eligibility. I don't know what to tell you. So it's pretty cool.
That is crazy.
And I'm sad to
Super
say
cool.
Data Daddy is taken.
Oh, is it really? That's too bad.
Yeah.
What about dad? Daddy?
Too much. Eject.
Craig, I do remember at one point we were talking to a guest and I think you said you were going to buy the domain and try to buy it while talking to them.
I think I did buy it.
I think you did buy it.
You did that, but you couldn't find like a 1980s home run sound effect for me while we're talking? That's really disappointing.
Really we have this thing, this new, I don't know if you can see it, this thing.
Stream Deck.
Oh,
and I just wired it up yesterday, so it's still I'm still in the learning stages. Well, yeah, the wire is one wire in the back to the Mac, but I meant literally like you have to program the buttons. It's pretty remarkable though. But I like that.
That's cool.
Like the MLB home run, the Nintendo version, right? Like where they're like,
I can actually do it. It's like do 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 do.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Isn't that the same music that's on Mike Tyson's Punch Out also?
No, I know what that is. I can't. I hear it in my head. I can't.
It's that same tonality though. It has that that
it
terrible.
All sounds the same.
Yeah. King Hippo.
Blades of
punch
steel.
him in the stomach. The King Hippo. We digressed.
So far from the podcast, my biggest takeaway from this conversation so far is that they're coming out with Metroid. I'm actually super stoked.
And you need to buy a commercial rater if you don't have one. Can you work that in so I don't get in trouble? Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Right,
yes.
cool.
So is this an add-on to a commercial rater, or this is the commercial rater?
Technically, we don't call ourselves a commercial rater. So if I said we were a commercial rater, I'd be getting in trouble. But like, I call it digital quote and bind, right? However you want to think about that, right? So business class, app, submit, get back quotes. I think what's really interesting about
it's not a rater.
I can neither confirm nor deny that question.
Why not call it a raider, like the football team, the Raiders? So it's a commercial rater.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Just change one letter, like McDowell's.
How about Raider? We could go, and then we have and Data Daddy.
Exactly.
So good.
So what gets you excited about where AI is going to go? Like, where's this going to lead to? Because just goofing around led to this, which led to where you are now, bigger fish acquiring, you now having to answer to somebody.
Yep. So there's so many data sources out there, right? There's millions, obviously.
Would they be called data daddies?
Daddy code.
Can we drop this bit? We have to drop this bit.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
That's true.
I just couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
The voice of reason.
But like all this data, right, that's out there, it's going to start pre-filling these applications for people automatically. And then the next thing that's going to happen is you'll have the last remnants of people filling out Accord forms, like paper or on PDF. Okay. And you can also use ML to extract all that data out, just like these third-party data sources, and fill it into these digital quote and bind applications that are not called commercial raters. And so you have all this information coming in. It's going to literally like pre-fill itself, right?
Okay.
So
I love that.
So you have all the information in there. The carrier systems are going to get faster and faster. So they're bringing back the results as what's real-time eligibility, what's not. Like, it's going to get nearly automatic.
Interesting.
Like, it's not going to take days, or definitely not going to take months like it used to be when I got my first commercial insurance policy. It's not going to take weeks. It's going to be like literally seconds.
Wow. That really opens a ton of opportunity in distribution, because we own agencies that are represented by a large captive carrier who we cannot mention. And that that carrier and most captives, most agents that do P&C, that's their focus. And then you have people that call and say, hey, I have the florist that has the plants that eat the people. Can you insure me? And we say, nah, you know what? Go to an independent, just because it's too much work on our side and it takes too long, and you get all excited about the huge premium, but then what you learn is it's going to be a no after a month of doing a bunch of work.
Yep.
This seems like it's going to create the ability for the typical P&C focused agent to maybe dally in this genre.
Yeah, we definitely see that. And like,
I don't even. I thought that was a car.
The Accord forms are the worst.
Yeah, they are.
Who likes an Accord form? I pulled that thing out and I'm like, oh my gosh. I did a policy for my mom. She had a property that it was so many pieces of paper. I eventually just found another agent and said, bro, I'll pay you to do this. Like,
it took you so long to get your mother to sign up with you, and then you had to eject.
Yeah, no, I'm not good at. I'm ADD, so a stack of papers like this ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. So I completely agree. I mean, we're kind of like in the early stages of, like, I think of it as the personal lines agents able to do commercial as well, right? And like Bold Penguin's starting to bridge that gap, because one of the things that we have that's unique is like we can appoint agents as like sub agents, or like whatever it's called, sub appointments. You don't even have to get direct appointed. And so then it starts to get really interesting, because then if you can just get people in, get them quoting, eventually it's not going to matter how much volume you do. So it's kind of fun.
Wow. Love it. Talk about an agency who's crushing it and what that workflow looks like for them.
Let's see. Milo is one that I always think about. So Milo is the digital arm of Locked-in Insurance. The other dude just left, by the way. I don't know if we want to.
He's probably blowing his nose. He's got allergies.
Oh, it happens. So Milo,
I did get a
what
monster.
they did is Milo spun out their small business unit. Lockton spun out their small business unit into Milo, right? And they got really, really good at being really, really efficient with small businesses, because that's kind of the name of the game, because the premiums are lower. So you don't want lots of touches. They use Bold Penguin for another key feature too, which is the prospects, right? So we get what I call quotable prospects that come in. So small businesses. And those small businesses, we match them up to the right agent based on preset filters that the agents set up themselves. So if you love florists that sell man-eating plants, I don't know why I keep using that example, but why not?
Did you just watch Little Shop of Horrors?
Yes. I did not. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so if you love florists in Kansas, we send you florists in Kansas, and then you use the software that we have to do the quote and bind, and it gets really, really fast. And so Milo's crushing it without a doubt.
Wow.
Love it.
So you can actually use it, and the data's in there for prospects?
Yeah, so when you buy the prospects as part of the Bold Penguin exchange, we've filled out already about a third of the application for you, because we actually get the small business. This is why I call them prospects and not leads. We get them on the phone. We say, do you want to buy insurance? Yes. We get the information, the basic information about the business, type it into the application, and then we call the agent and say, hey, we have a small business to pass to you. Pass them over, pass the application over, and then the agent goes and closes the deal.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I love that.
So how does somebody get signed up for that?
They go to our site and they request a demo, and we do a demo, and then we send you a contract, you sign it, and then you're going. And we're really good at getting people working in the platform very quickly and getting appointments done. That's the other thing we've been working on a ton this year is because we're signing up lots of agents. We want to make sure people have success as quickly as possible right out of the gate. And so our customer service team is doing an amazing job now getting people in, and people sign up and can start quoting within a day. It's pretty cool.
Wow. Super cool. Love it.
Yep.
What are some of the things that you see in the future? We kind of already touched on this, but where would you give as advice for an agent that wants to start doing this, get into commercial? Maybe they were doing more P&C before. What's the number one advice that you'd give them to really shoot them in the right direction and make sure that they had success?
Yeah, I think what I would do is if you're going to go down the small business, commercial insurance side, dedicate somebody to it, right? Just start with one person if that's what you're going to do, but have somebody dedicated to it, because if you're buying prospects from Bold Penguin, for example, we'll send them to you 9 to 5, anytime during the day. If they get past you, you're going to miss that opportunity if it goes straight to your voicemail. But the same thing, let's say you get a referral and you pass it to someone, but they're doing personal lines and they don't really understand commercial insurance. They're not going to really nail it out of the park. So if you do commercial, just have somebody dedicated to it. I mean, if I had an agency, I think it's going to get really fast and really profitable. It already is getting there, but in the next year and a half to 2 years, it's going to get pretty wild. And I think there's some almost Moneyball opportunities in the space. If that book it's pretty fun for people.
That
cool.
Is awesome.
Yep.
Love it. InsurTech meets the commercial space. We've talked to a few people and it seems that way. It seems like all of a sudden within the last few years, there's a lot of technologies that are streamlining the process that used to be absolutely horrible.
Yeah. It's all the APIs, right? So the API, APIs are two systems that connect, right? Very, very simply. Those did not exist, or if they existed, they were really rough until Bold Penguin started talking about them in 2016. Other companies started talking about them in 2016. Carriers got pretty serious about building them out, and they're stable now. And so you can do a whole lot of stuff. And once you've built out the APIs and given them to one company, then they're available to any other company you want to give them access to. So it allows a lot more innovation.
The handshake.
The handshake
system.
Well, awesome, Chris. Thanks for going the distance with a couple crazy insurance dudes.
No problem.
What websites can we go to get more Chris in our life?
Oh, let's see. You can go to LinkedIn. I post there a lot. Not a lot. Like sometimes it just depends on how I'm feeling about life, I guess. But yeah, just go connect with me on LinkedIn. That's where I talk about insurance a lot. Check out boldpenguin.com. And otherwise, just leave me alone. Just kidding.
Awesome.
Perfect.
And I think we have your cell, so we'll just post that on the show notes down at the bottom. If you have any questions, just follow up with him. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to have more juicy episodes like this. And we will see you at the next one. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Thanks, Craig.
Thanks.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, Mr. Craig.
That was another awesome episode, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people want to get a little bit more action and learn how to do write 100,000 in premium
Yes.
off of even the worst internet leads, where could they go?
They can go to live.teledudes.com.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Are we going to be there?
Yes, it's a weekly call that we're doing right now it's live, and it will show you the process. The entire process is super awesome.
I love it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sign up right now, live.teledudes.com.
Live.teledudes.com. That's live.teledudes.com.
Hey, Craig, there's a new community that we are starting that I cannot wait to tell everybody about. It is our live texting community where you and I are going to answer people's questions and give them free content, right?
Are you kidding me? We get
Yep.
to talk to them?
Yeah, which is awesome, but they have to opt in. They have to text us at 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
Nice.
Craig, are you going to respond to these texts?
I'm going to respond to them for sure. Live.
I'm into it too. It's going to be
Well-
awesome. And it's going to be our new texting community where we're going to get back to everybody that we can and drop some crazy content, free content, and free the calculator that you just came up with. That's right. The calling calculator, sales material. I mean, everything for insurance agents. This is it. It's the best texting community out there for insurance agents.
Well, what the heck is that number again? I can't remember it.
It's 520-214-2219. That's
Okay.
520-214-2219.
I love it. I'm going to text it right now.
520-214-2219.
All right. I'll see you later, Mr. Jason.
Bye, Mr. Craig.
Wait, do they even listen to this on the radio anymore?
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
All right.